Hey guys, we're going to go over the DXY, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and maybe one other asset. On our last trade, we made about 4%. We'll see how much money we can make off of this one. But the volume lately is going to be pretty depressing until we wait until the Fed meeting. We'll see how much they increase the basis points again, or if they even do. Yeah, let's dive into it, and I'll show you what I see on the inside. All right, so the first thing we want to look at is the DXY, and it should be a part of your daily routine as well. Before you even look at Bitcoin, you should be looking at what's going on with the DXY. So right now, the DXY is at a really important level of support that it's been holding ever since it broke out of a macro formation for this little bull run that the US dollar's been having. Since around April 25th was during the breakout, got the confirmation bounce here. This acted as a larger confirmation bounce, and we started going on an uptrend ever since. So if we break below this, you can expect Bitcoin to most likely have a little bit of a rally, and we should be watching out for support bounces. So if you were to enter like a long position, for example, for Bitcoin, not financial advice, but you should be watching out for potential bounces off of this support box right here that I've drawn on my screen. So I think it can bounce right from the top here based off of this price action, the rejection here, here, and then we got support off of it here. So it may act as support again. So just be very careful with that. So if this were to bounce while being in a long position, it might be a good time to exit, depending on what the structure looks like. Anyways, it may not bounce right here, but it may bounce all the way down around. If it if we melt right through this, which is possible, we could see a bounce around 103 as well that you need to be aware of. If for any reasons these don't hold up as support, which I would be very shocked if it didn't, the next area of support is at around 101.4. And that's the ceiling of a formation, a macro formation for the DXY. If you were to zoom out a bit here, this is what it looks like. Anyways, yeah, this acted as really strong resistance, and it may break this uptrending momentum that you're seeing right now with the DXY. Let's move over to Bitcoin, the only asset in the world that matters right now. Let's go over to the hourly chart and zoom in just so you can see a little bit clearer. It's a bit of a mess. Got a lot of stuff in my chart. All right, cool. So right now we're in it, like we've got a flag formation building right now. These are typically bullish, and we do see bullish divergence being formed. But we have to have this level of support right here hold up. If this doesn't hold up, it kind of invalidates any chance of a relief rally happening anytime soon. So just take that into account. This support has to hold up. I personally will not be trading a long position off this until we break this level of resistance right here. It'll act as a W, and if this acts as resistance again, I'll be getting out. So first you need to see price action come up. Use this neckline as a form of support, then you can enter a long position. I'll be taking profits here if there's rejection. If there isn't, if we start seeing price action form this downtrend level of resistance and flip it and turn it as support, I'll just stay in my long position and ride it as long as I can to the technical target around 24,150, while also looking out for this local level of resistance, potentially stopping the pump going to the upside as well. This is all dependent on, of course, this still acting as support. Anyways, that's everything I got for you for Bitcoin. Now that would be a potential, if you got the early entry, awesome. If for any reason you didn't get this early entry and you entered off of this, basically you'd find the most recent swing low and you put your stop loss right below it. In this scenario, if we broke above this neckline, you just have your stop loss right below any of the price action that you see here, and you ride it to the top of this formation. So if I were to long, stop loss should be roughly around here. Take profit should be roughly around here. The risk reward isn't very good, but what becomes rewarding is based on what happens if it breaks this resistance, right? Because this 1 to 1.59 could easily turn into a 1 to 4 and potentially even a 1 to 5.6. So that's what I'm baking on when I decide to enter this long position. Is based on the potential that it could turn into. Now, I'll only be entering because the risk-reward ratio starts off very low. Like I normally want to see a 1 to 2. I'm only going to be entering with like 1% of my trading portfolio, and I will double down on it with 2% if this acts as a form of support. It will move my average up and affect my risk-to-reward ratio. However, it will also increase my profits as we start getting closer to the technical target. Yeah, that's everything I got for you for Bitcoin. But things are looking bullish short term with the price action, assuming this holds up. All it takes is one person to screw this up, honestly. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for now. And for Ethereum, the price action looks a little bit of the opposite, actually. So you can see that there's a downtrending flag here, and this one is slightly uptrending. And uptrending flags usually tend to be a lot more bearish, especially since this could just act as a triple top. So if this breaks this level of support right here, the technical target for Ethereum is from the center of the formation here. Grab a trend line. The technical target is comes in confluence with this area of consolidation right here. So you'd want to undercut this consolidation. Grab horizontal line. So you'd want a price, like this is the technical target of 1356, but you should be undercutting this number here. Not undercutting this one, undercutting this one. So you should be taking profits roughly around here if you want to undercut this. So like 1400 will be a round number that you most likely see a lot of like professional traders get out. So in the order books, you'll likely see this act as a large buy wall, where people will be taking profits off their shorts. So just prepare for that. So you may have to undercut 1400, and that will affect your R&R. So if we were to enter this as a short position, I will do an example. Let's say, for example, we get this drop, and this uptrending level of support turns into resistance. We'd enter roughly around here. I'll put my stop loss off the most recent swing high, and the technical target will give us the R&R of about 1 to 3, with the potential of it becoming roughly around like 1 to 2, based on whether we take our profits early or not. It all depends on the price action. If you start seeing a bounce around 1400, it's best to try to take your profits early. If you're someone who is like, constantly working, not able to look at the screens, then you should be undercutting it by quite a bit with a limit order. I would even undercut this little wick right here around like 1430 if you are someone who's too busy to look at the charts with the limit order. Anyways, this is a scenario if it were to break to the downside. It does look like it's going to break to the downside. We have bearish divergence off of an uptrending triple top, so it could easily go down. More likely to go down than up. If for any reason we get a bounce here, it's kind of the same scenario with Bitcoin, where we have this little micro W that we can play off of. You'd enter off this little break off this neckline. Your stop loss will be right below the price action. Your entry should be after you're seeing a full hourly candle close above this neckline. You could enter off that breakout or the confirmation, and watch out for this heart line right here. That might act as resistance. If we get above the heart line, then awesome. Your target will be roughly around 1665. Let's see what the risk to reward ratio would be on something like that. See if it's even worth mentioning this. So we had your stop loss roughly around here. Take profit around here. Yeah, 1 to 2 is pretty good, but there's a lot of risk in this one. Like we could easily turn into a 0.63 if we get rejected here. So I personally wouldn't be entering this kind of trade, just because it could potentially turn out worse than it could be. Whereas this one, there's a lot less risk with shorting than it is with longing this. Anyways, that's pretty much everything I got for you. But we can hunt for another one. Let's see what MATIC's doing. All right, so we already got decent profits off this one, this little trade here. But let's take a look and see what this is turning into. It's more of a macro formation now. So we grab this support. Let's bring it over here. It's uptrending support here. Technical target. Actually, we based off of this. Same kind of concept. Just get the break the last time. So if we break to the upside, it'd be a lot more bullish than the break to the downside, because the technical target to the downside is a lot less profitable. So the downside target, if we're going to go for a conservative one, it'll be roughly around 70 cents. So if we break to the downside, how would I would act? So I get the short position tool going here. Where are we? There we go. Short. Stop loss be off this price action, right above the VWAP, and technical target around 69 cents. It will give us a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 5. That's a really good potential play. However, we do need to look out for a bounce off of this here, 78 cents. This acted as resistance in the past and support in the past. So just be very mindful of this acting as support again. What I could probably end up seeing based off of this price action is a break to the downside. And once we get the break, we'll get a bounce here, come up, use this little neckline here as a form of resistance, this uptrending level support as a form of resistance, as a confirmation rejection, and then bring us down towards our target. However, only enter if you see a visible rejection around here or off of that price action bounce here if you were late. Just to keep that into your mind's eye there. If we break to the upside, the technical target's a lot better. What your stop loss is most likely going to be in a higher risk area. So if we were to break to the upside, and you see price action come up through here, and I wouldn't enter early if I were you. I would actually wait until you see price action break above this. Candles printing above this, not these wicks that you see here. You want to see a candle print above this. Use this as support. Then you can enter a long position and go for the technical target of 118 while looking for resistance at 102 and 106. The stop loss would be currently roughly right below this. So your stop loss, your risk of loss is going to be quite bigger than this short position play. So if we were to break to the downside, the upside. Oh, I got the wrong tool out. My bad. Let's clean up this screen here before I let you guys go. There we go. Then we just delete this. All right, cool. Let's pull up the long position tool. Say you entered around here, but your stop loss roughly around here. So you would actually risk losing 6%. So you'd want to only put in a very small amount of your portfolio into this. But you're risking 6% for gaining a potential 35%. I don't think the market's actually healthy enough for this target here, to be honest. Even though it's like a form of momentum trade, I don't see this playing out. If we do break to the upside, the top of this formation will most likely act as a strong level of resistance and bring us right back down for a potential double top. Based on what I'm seeing in the market, the break to the downside is much more likely. But again, if the DXY breaks to the downside and that pumps the valuation of Bitcoin, all the liquidity of Bitcoin is going to go up, and that may support the breakout for MATIC to go to the upside. However, the upside target is just not healthy or realistic to actually go through with. But you never know. It's not going to stop me from entering a trade if this breaks to the upside. And the moment you start seeing support bounces, you should be moving your stop loss further and further into the profit zone below those support bounces. But yeah, I guess that's everything I got for you guys. If you have any questions about this, you can reach out to me in the Discord. We're actually working on releasing quite a bit of new stuff for you in the Discord. We're going to have range trading signals now and I'm working on a bot that will also give you signals based on Lux Algo's indicators, and the indicators are going to be filtered out to give us the best possible win rate. But yeah, guys, that's everything I got for you. Have yourself an amazing day. Appreciate you watching, and please subscribe. Thank you.